Companies are now taking on $1 trillion a year for in the last decade, the last 10 years. They've taken on $1 trillion worth of debt. That means our financial system has funded $1 trillion worth of debt. That means that if something were to happen to that $1 trillion worth of debt, like companies starting to fail, the financial system would fall under the weight of that debt. It also means that the financial system doesn't care a lick about that because they think that this punch bowl is never going to be taken away at the party. And it's scary. It's a scary thing for me. This has been going on since January of 2010. Now, let me just remind you that in January of 2009, companies and individual homeowners, individual people, just working class people, were in the process of deleveraging. And companies were getting out of debt in record numbers. Why? Because 2008, they got this huge wake-up call that about scared them to death. So they did the logical thing, the right thing to do, and they started cutting their debt back. Just a year later, being that we are the animals that have the shortest memory of any other animal on the face of this earth, they quickly started racking up the debt again. Now, this leads me to another concern. The concern that I have is the SIFMA, which is a FDIC-like kind of insurance inside the securities industry's trade group. So it is an industry thing. And it also includes the bond debt from corporate bonds that are outstanding. It also includes municipal bond debt. And that bond debt has rocketed up to about 50%, more than 50%, and will soon top $10 trillion versus about $6 trillion at the end of the previous decade. Now, the largest U.S. companies, those in the S&P 500 index, account for roughly 70% of, that would be $7 trillion of all this debt. Long story short, it's scary. It's scary. And it's something that I've got to be concerned about when I talk to all of you in your investment strategies, which I am. I'm thinking about all the time. And it's a very difficult thing to reckon when we are looking at balance sheets. What could happen? Hey, remember to click the subscribe button right here on the screen. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new content is added. And more importantly than anything, you don't want to miss all 3 live hours of Financial Issues every day from 9 to noon. And you can watch it on FISM.tv. That's FISM.tv.